Oh, hello, this is Tyson, Backbowl Pro Shop. Today we are at house and we are working on resurfacing some balls. I had a owner of the Backbowl asked me to resurface their house ball for them, which is kind of odd, but you know, if that's what she wants to use, and that's fine with me. She just wanted to pretty it up a little bit. It's been pretty beat up. As you can see, there's, you know, a bunch of big gouges on the ball. You know, some owies here and some owies there. And, yeah, so yeah, we're going to resurface that ball. Why not, right? And then I've also got another ball down here. This is the one that we detoxed yesterday. So it's sanded down to 500 grit, detoxed, and we're going to be doing this ball as well, resurfacing this roto grip. I don't know if you guys can see. Oh, my auto rotation's off, so can't fix it right now, but whatever. So yeah, we've got this roto grip. Let's see, haywire right here that we're going to be working on as well for a guy for Wednesday Night League. But yeah, I thought I would just hop on here and just talk. You know, I'm still trying to learn how to get all of the chats on here. So yeah, I can't really see the chats or anything like that. Maybe one of these days I'll figure out how to do that all on my little phone here. Just haven't had a chance to go down to rifle and get it from him. But yeah, you know, on occasion I'll just show you guys what I'm doing down here. We're gonna start out with some pretty gritty, you know, real strong grit paper. Try and get all the biggest scratch marks and stuff out of here. I've got an 80. I don't think I'm going to use an 80. Got a 120 here. So I'm going to use this, a 320, a 500, and just kind of work my way up to get this ball to be as clean as possible. Obviously, it's a house ball, so it's not going to, it's not meant to, you know, really hook a whole lot unless you're coming around the ball and throwing the ball incorrectly. But yeah, that's probably enough talk about all that. So yeah, I'll just get with it and kind of just start from there, I guess. You know, I wonder, I actually might just try and play with this a quick second, because if I fold, I wonder if I can open up. Is there a way to see comments? You can tell that I'm not in my Sunday best. I'm just in a regular cutoff t-shirt. You know, I'm at home, so I don't have one of my regular headphones on or anything like that. Man, I wish I could hide all chats, top messages. All messages are visible. I don't know. Maybe it will show you. Anyway, like I said, I just figured I'd start doing lives like almost every day, or days that I'm actually working on stuff. Let's see, what can we talk about today? Well, let's see. What is something that I haven't really talked about yet much? So I will say that, you know, I'm always researching and reading stuff and watching videos on YouTube, like Mo Mondays or whatever good content I can find. Like I said, that not all not all information passed online to you through YouTube or Facebook or whatever else is always good information. So it's important for you to know what is good and what's bad. So how do you figure that out? Well, I would say, Mow Mondays. If you just type in Mow Mondays on probably Google or YouTube, you'll find his videos. I watched a video yesterday, Radical, I think it was called something like Perception versus Reality or something from Radical, which I've been a motive guy for a long time, so I haven't really looked at other balls. I like motive because they're made in the United States and everything like that, so it's hard for me to get away from a company that I know makes their balls here. Man, that thing is grippy. They make their balls here in America, so that's a big deal to me. Like I said, being a veteran and stuff, I like stuff that's made in America, and I know that, SPI, Storm, Brunswick, Columbia, Radical, DBA, all those companies are, based out of the United States and and they're doing good things. But just for some reason, it just means something more to me when when it actually says made in America, not just assembled in America or whatever else. So I think that's an important part for me so I haven't really been researching the other companies. Obviously now as a pro shop owner, it's kind of good for me to branch out, which I've been doing for the last, for months now, just trying to get a feel of what other companies do and what people like from other companies, and like the Black Widow and Hammer, and learning all of that stuff as much as I can too. But it's just so hard. There's so many balls, so many brands, that it's hard to keep up with everything. I guess the other part of it for me is new releases. Discontinued balls and new release balls come out. A new ball comes out like almost every 45 days. And that's like almost per company, depending on who they are. Like Motive, they come out with a new ball every 45, 90 days. Balls get discontinued in that same kind of timeline. Which doesn't mean you can't get the ball anymore. It means that they just stopped building it, right? And I think this was something that was on the Radical Perception versus Reality I was watching yesterday. So yeah, it's just so hard to keep up with all the new stuff and everything that's coming out and the discontinued stuff for all the brands. But I am trying to learn all of that. I wonder if I can zoom this out just a little bit. Oh, there's a zoom in, sorry. Good view of the beard. Come on, zoom back out. There we go. I guess I can go back a ways. So I'm just using the front lens on my phone today, so that way I can actually see how well I'm actually doing, staying in focus, and I don't have enough screen coverage on there really, but as long as you can see me and whatever else. I don't think anybody else is doing live videos as they're really working and just talking. But yeah, we're in my laundry room, so it's kind of loud, it echoes, the washer's going, I've got clothes in there. I just got new socks for my daughters. So they needed to get washed. My youngest, he uses her socks like every day at school. Some kind of sock monster at the preschool. But yeah, like I said, it's just really difficult with all of the balls that come and go so quickly. It's hard to keep up with all of it all of the time. But I will say that the other side of it for the company is You know, people, I mean, they did some research obviously before they just started like, well, we're not going to make that ball anymore. People don't come by and buy the same ball over and over again for the most part. You know, I will tell you this, and this is something they brought up too, and I already knew this as well. Let's say you buy a ball that just came out, you go bowl with it, and you bowl like the best you've ever bowled, and you really like that ball because it just works for you. Well, wait like 60, 90 days and did it at a discount instead of buying brand new. You know, and just pay attention to, like, you know, Google your ball every once in a while. If it's a ball that you really like, make sure that it's not going to get discontinued. And if it is, that is your opportunity to buy a bunch of them at discount. So, and my thought is, okay, you found a ball that you really like that really works for you. Why buy a different ball? Just stay in that ball as long as you possibly can. So buy a couple and store them properly. We don't know how. Each brand has their own website. You know, Brunswick, Motive, SPI, Storm, Hammer. You know, all the brands, Radical. They all have a website. I'm sure somewhere on their website says this is how we recommend you to store your balls. A lot of them will be exactly the same as each other. There might be some that say a little bit different than the other, but I would just listen to what the brand tells you to do with their brand of ball. You know, a little bit of research goes a long way. So if you want to if you found a ball that works for you and you're bowling the best you've ever bowled with a ball, I would recommend trying to get as many as you can get your hands on and storing them somewhere. But based off their research, that's not what people do. They want a new ball. They want a new ball. They want a different ball. They want what just came out. Hello? Scared me. Sorry, somebody came into the door and I wasn't expecting it. It kind of scared me. Yeah, I guess that's about it about that conversation. Man, these cuts are so deep. This is what happens to a ball. You know, I think she said she's been using it since like they opened, which was 20 years ago. So it's going to be pretty difficult to get all of the big cuts and stuff out of here, but we'll do our best. We'll make it prettier. The good thing is she bowls an unsanctioned league, so we can go as deep as we want. Try and get all these scratch marks off. So it might be a lot of work, but you know what? Then I can say I resurface the house balls, which I don't think many people can say. But when the people that own the building that you're working out of ask you to do something for them, you kind of listen, I guess. You know, I try and turn a weird project into a project that, you know, hopefully I can make this ball like almost shiny again without having to sand way too far down to where everything kind of disappears, you know, serial numbers, all that stuff. And you can use it for like a before and after, which I didn't take a good picture of it, but that's fine. We can, it's getting there. Just kind of spinning it, hitting it, spinning it, hitting it. There it is. Over and over again until we get somewhere. Thankfully, I got most of my other duties that needed to be done right away kind of taken care of for now. Had to plug a ball for a guy. He doesn't need it until next Thursday, so that kind of saves me there. But I got it plugged yesterday, so it'll be hard today. It takes 24 hours for it to cure. We were doing that yesterday, so it'll cure today and be ready to drill later today if we have time to meet up with him and see what we're going to do with it. Since he didn't have time to talk about it the first time, so well, our big scratch is looking a lot better, you know. So that, remember that scratch from before. Here's let's see, there it is now. So, a lot better, you know, get you upside down, and my phone's right in the light, so, yeah, there's a quick view of it all, just kind of, but yeah, we're getting that big scratch kind of gone, just got to keep working at it. Obviously, you can't just do one side, you know, then your ball's going to be oblong or whatever, not roll right, so hit this side, hit the next side, hit the next. What else is there? That's a good one. I'll scoot that over a little further this way. So the depth of your finger holes when they're drilled matters quite a bit as well. If you don't drill it deep enough, you don't take out enough material for it to bowl correctly, and it might just kind of make it look funny as it's going down the lane and not do what a ball's supposed to do for you. Very uncontrollable. I believe I've heard the word twitchy. So make sure that you understand how that kind of works as well. Let's see, we were going this direction now, so we'll go quarter turn on the ball. Wash off our, spray off the ball, wash off our pad. Let's see, so depth of the hole, the pitch of the hole. A lot of people don't know about pitches. You could have a forward pitch or a reverse pitch. Forward pitch is when your fingers are more into the ball, so it would, you would drill into it more towards like your thumb. And reverse would be out away from it. So when you go have a reverse pitch, it comes off your hand easier. Forward pitch lets it stay on your hand a little bit easier. So if you have a hard time getting out of the ball, you would just kind of keep reversing your pitch until it worked better. If the ball's coming off your hand too easy, then you would do the reverse. So if you're out here, you would just bring it in this way. Okay. Same with the thumb. So thumb, more in the ball is forward. Coming back is reverse. So, if the ball's not coming off your hand very good, then you might want to bring it back a little bit more. If it's coming off your hand too easy, then you might want to bring in some forward pitch so you have some more grip. So that's important to know. Let's see, what else is there we haven't talked yet about much? So with another show that does a really good job, J.R. Redmond, I think it's called like Bowling Doctors or something to that effect. J.R. Raymond does a lot of good videos as well talking about things. I think I shared one on Facebook, one of his videos, maybe a couple of his videos, just because what he is saying is so true and it makes a whole lot of sense. Like, a lot of people think that you know, if they bowl really well in a league, a local league, that they're really good bowlers, and that's not necessarily the case. I mean, yeah, they're good bowlers, but that's a house pattern. If you want to try your hand and say that you're a really good bowler, go bowl on a sport pattern, see what that does to you. Because I guarantee you will not bowl as good as you do on a house pattern as you do a sport pattern. Guarantee it. Especially if you've never even bowled on one, have no idea how they play. Or you can just go to a challenge shot, which is not even as difficult as a sport pattern. Maybe one of these days I'll pop onto Kegel, the Kegel app, and show you all of the patterns that they have on their app for all of their for all the oil patterns, because there is a bunch. I mean, just for house shots they have a bunch. Challenge shots there's a bunch. There's probably thousands of them. You know, almost every pro bowler's got an oil pattern. There's an EJ Tackett pattern. There's a Dick Weber pattern. There's a, you know, they're all the Belmonte pattern, I would imagine. So there's an abundance of oil patterns. Like at the place I bowl at, the back bowl, they have been using the same typical house shot for, I can't say 20 years guaranteed, but they've been using Easy Street V1 basically, which is an 18 milliliter volume pattern, for a very long time. Which is kind of outdated. You know, that's why we made the move to the Easy Street V2, which is 22 milliliters of oil volume. We bowled on it Wednesday, not a whole lot of complaints. The one thing that a lot of the guys saw that have bowled in tournaments and stuff, other places, said, you know what, there is actually some kind of a transition compared to the old pattern that we were using that only had 18 milliliters on it. And I said, yeah, I kind of noticed as well. I switched out of the ball that I had brought. That was a little bit stronger than the one I had been using. And I quickly turned back into the ball that I had been using for the old pattern. But I wasn't playing up 40 board or anything like that this time, which was kind of nice. It was a nice change. Which I don't mind playing up 40 board, but I would rather be more middle, 25, 29, 30, somewhere in there is where I would like to bowl from. It's my comfortable spot. I don't mind bowling from 35, 40. Once you get out to like 38, let's say 36, 37, you're up against our ball returns on the right side of the lane. So that's kind of inconvenient that you can't go farther left without being on a machine. So just to make things easier, I just ball down and get back in the middle of the lane. I could use I could still bowl 40 board or even 45 board if I really wanted to in the left lane. But why would I want to have a different ball in each lane? It causes inconsistency and have to aim in different spots. And that's just stuff that you want to alleviate out of your game. So just ball down and get back into the middle and then throw basically the same shot on both sides, or very close to the same shot. And obviously lanes don't always break down the same exact way for both sides, but at least you're close. Instead of being like 15 boards different or 20 boards different, at least you're only maybe a couple of boards different between lanes. And then that brings up the idea that so sometimes in tournaments they'll have a different pattern on the left lane compared to the right lane. So that's something that a lot of bowlers at the houses, league night have never seen before either, is bowling on two different patterns at the same time. One in the left, one in the right, knowing which ball to use on which lane. where you're standing at on each lane, remembering what you're throwing every time. It sounds easy in theory, but it can be difficult to remember everything that's going on, especially if you're bowling in a big tournament and you're like getting into the, you might have a chance to make it. Pressure adds on, man. Bowling your mental game is just as important as your physical game, if not more important. There's a lot of different ways to have stress and a league night. Bowling against the guy next to you on the other team, you got to try and beat him. You also have strike pots and brackets and all sorts of other things that could be making you think about, wow, I'm bowling crappy, I've got to pick up my game, blah 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 blah. That last frame kicked my butt. Well, you can't think like that. You got to go up to the line thinking, I'm going to throw my best shot. Not worry about the last shot, which is really hard to do, especially if you have bad shot after bad shot after bad shot. It just kind of just eats at you, and then you get frustrated. I know I'm a better bowler than this. Why can't I line up right? Why can't I hit my mark? I kind of had that problem this week. I wouldn't say I was too stressed out. There's a lot on my mind this week. I've got a lot going on. But the whole point is to, get up there, get in your stance, take a breath, let everything kind of, just concentrate on your shot. Try to alleviate all that other crap going on in your life for the next 15 seconds while you're throwing your ball. Obviously, don't stand up there forever. You're not up there to meditate and all that, but do your best. Try to just think about that shot that you're on currently. And then, if you throw a decent shot, you hit your mark and you miss, or you don't take all 10. You don't get all 10 of them. It didn't carry very well. You can say, well, I watched the ball go through the deck. I carried the 9 but missed the 8. What can I do to adjust for that? And then now you're on the right mindset. Okay, I got 9, easy spare. Pick up my spare. What did I learn from this last shot? And now you're thinking positive. You're going, okay, what can I do next? More ball speed, less ball speed, more hook based off your shot. If you carry the 8 and miss the 9, it means your ball didn't deflect, didn't roll through. It had so much energy that it just carried through all the way through the left instead of tapping that 9 pin on the way through. So, you might need to get a little bit less revs on it, a little bit less access tilt. I wouldn't necessarily say throw your ball slower, but you just got to figure out what you can do to get that ball to go through the pin deck. Perfect strike, you should carry the 1, 3, 5, 8, 9, right? So 1, 3, 5, 8, 9. That's 5 pins. Your ball carried out through on its own, on a good strike. So then there's only 5 other pins that you have to hope that the other pins get pretty good odds. Back in the day, it was the 1, 3, 5, 9. 1, 3, 5, 9. That was like your good strike back in the day. That only carried 4 pins. The ball only went through 4 pins. You have to cover 6. So that's probability of carrying a strike is a little lower than that, right? Is not as good. So that's your perfect strike, which is at 17.5 board. People say between 16.5 and 18.5. Well, what's in the middle of those? 17.5 is typically your pocket shot. When your ball's hitting the pocket in that area, you're going to do pretty well as long as your ball's rolling properly and not carrying too much energy, hooking through it and missing the 9 pin, or not coming through it bounces and deflects off too hard and misses the 8 pin. But then you know you're close. You're within like an inch of what is going to be a good ball, you know. All right, guys. So as I'm talking here, look, we got that nasty line gone. It was like right through the here. You can still see part of it here. That line's gone. There's part of it there. But we're getting it there. She's getting close. Like I said, I've just been, you know, so we'll start out here. A quarter turn. Quarter turn. This looks a little shiny because it's still wet. Quarter turn. Quarter turn. Now we're back up to here. So then we would go like 90. Quarter turn. Quarter turn, sand. Quarter turn and sand. Quarter turn and sand. Now we're back to where we started. 90, holes facing down. Quarter turn, quarter turn, quarter turn. Okay, then 90 again. Quarter turn, quarter turn, quarter turn. And sand it every time you do a quarter turn. That way you can try and keep your ball as symmetrical as possible, round as possible. So that I want to go here. That will make it symmetrical than what we were. Where did I set my sanding pad? It's right here. So yeah, you know, it's just a matter of just kind of scratching it down, getting all of our cuts and nicks as gone as possible. Obviously, there's some nicks and scratches that you can't get out, but you just do your best. Until it looks as good as possible without not taking too much material off the ball. This being a house ball, I'm not too worried about it, obviously. But okay, we're starting here. I'm glad that I got most of the work done yesterday that I needed to get done, and then this popped up, and you know I knew I had to resurface this other ball anyway, so it's kind of nice I get to do both at the same time because, like I said, I don't really have a spot at the alley in the little shop that I have over there to have a decent place to resurface at, which isn't a big deal, you know. I don't mind doing what I have to do to bring the balls to my house and sand them here and do that. So kind of an inconvenience, yeah, but at least I can do it. At least I have somewhere to do it at. Thankfully, landlord roommate doesn't mind. You know, I clean up everything pretty well. I don't leave a big mess. Yeah, you can see all the yuck, nasty that I've gotten off of this ball. So we're going to use the other side of it now, just to try and get all the yuck out of the ball and off the ball as good as we can. Use a dirty rag, you're putting dirt back on the ball, right? So. You know, that would be kind of a fun video to do, is like sand a house ball down to like, I don't know, like 80 grit, like this really aggressive 80 grit, and go throw it down the lane and see what you could do. You know, an even better thought would be a good training video, actually. You know, you could start with a house ball that has never been cleaned or resurfaced, obviously, and bring some of your pads with you and surface the house ball to show people what surface actually does. You know, it's probably the second most important thing on a ball. Okay, probably third. You know, the core inside the ball is a pretty big deal. Um, Second's probably cover stock. Third, I would say, is surface. Layout is probably fourth. No, I wouldn't even say all. I would say pitches. Proper fit is, oh man, can't miss proper fit. Proper fit's number one. You can't outcoach a bad fit. You'll hear that all over the place. So proper fit, number one. Number one, proper fit. Then number two, probably the core of the inside of the ball. Symmetric, asymmetric inside. Sorry, I haven't taken a shower yet today. That's how honest I am about myself. And to you. So yeah, I would say proper fit number one, core, two, cover stock, three, and with proper fit, I would count in pitches, and all of that. I would count that as proper fit. And then that would put that with number one. So that would be one, proper fit, two, core, three would be cover stock, four would be your layout, four would be surface, five would be layout, in that order. From most important things to what changes to your ball and how it rolls to least most important things. So that's how I think about that. Is you will hear you can't outcoach an improper fit all over the place. Once you have a proper fit, then we can talk about coaching and taking care of whatever flaw you might have in your approach and game. Man, I put out a lot of good stuff. I wish I had more people that actually follow me and watch me, but you know what? I'm doing what I can. It'll all change. It'll all get busier as people start getting to know me and understanding what I'm doing, and like I told you guys yesterday, it's not about me competing with the guy in Rifle or the guys in Denver or anybody else. It's about educating, helping people understand, and that way when you do go to a pro shop, you know what questions to ask. You can walk in and go, I haven't had my fit checked in a year. Can you check my fit? Obviously, if you're younger, you every 3 months or less, or whenever you feel like something's just not right. Especially if you're getting bleeding out of up here, or if you've got a gouge or an owie on this side of your thumb, that's bad signs you have an improper fit. Another one would be, but there's obviously there's like normal calluses and stuff, like where your ball, that thumb hole's too small. Maybe Jesse's ball is coming. Let me show you. Oh yeah. So where your thumb goes into the ball, see, like right in here, that thumb hole's a little tight on me. So, but see, you might get some callousing inside of here on your web, but that would be normal, because I mean that's where your thumb goes in the ball. Maybe some calluses on this side of your fingers. But if you ever start seeing blood and that kind of stuff, then I would go in and talk to your pro shop and see what they can do for you. If it's bad enough to where you have to do something about it right now and cover it with Band-Aids and stuff, clean it up, take a picture of it, so that way you can show it to them. That way they know exactly what is happening to your finger and what they can do about it. So that's why we change pitches and stuff like that, forward and reverse as well, so your hand doesn't get hurt. If you have pain when you're bowling, something's not right. So go get checked regularly. If you're an adult, you're done growing, I would say once a year before league. If you're a kid growing, I would say more often for sure. You know, a kid grows pretty fast. Believe me, I know my kids need different clothes, different shoes, all of the time. Same thing with a bowling ball. Same thing with the bowling ball. If your kid's getting bigger shoes, hands are probably getting bigger too. You don't want your kid to be bowling with the wrong size span on their ball, especially if they're a conventional thrower using 2 fingers and a thumb. I think less injuries occur with guys that bowl with just 2 fingers, less contact points. I think that helps. And then, like me, I don't use a thumb, but I only bowl one. I still bowl one-handed. I don't want to do the 2-handed thing. Maybe eventually I'll learn. I do try because it helps me, and I have videos of myself doing those things. Because if I can find flaws in my game while I'm trying to do something that I'm not used to doing, that helps me be a coach. So yeah, and I can't bowl with the thumb in. I just can't. I don't know what it is, but every time that I try and release the ball, I always flip over the top. And I don't know if it's because I'm scared that my thumb's going to get stuck or what, but I just never been able to. It hurts my wrist, so I stay away from bowling with my thumb. I will say that the other day, one of the guys had a ball that fit really well, and I didn't have bowling shoes on or anything, so I wasn't full speed, but I actually got to like throw it like this, and it was kind of, obviously I wasn't like this, but my hand was actually, I came out like that. And it was kind of fun, you know, to be able to say I actually threw a ball with the thumb in the right way. I think we're just about done getting all of the marks out of this ball, and we're ready to start bringing it back up to a higher grit, you know, like I think what we're going to do with the house ball, I don't think you can even find specs for them anymore. You might. I'm sure there's something in there, but I know how she throws, and it doesn't really matter. I mean, she throws over end, pretty straight. So, but when she does get it under it, I don't want it to hook down the lane. And right now, at, you know, what is this, 120? If I left this at 120 and she actually got some rotation on the ball, this thing would turn, it would go somewhere. So I don't want that to happen to her. So we're gonna bring it up to at least 4,000 and polish it, or 5,000 and polish it. Just so that way, if she does throw up one and throw on accident, that it will do better. Obviously, she's not going to maintain it. She's not going to keep it at that grit anyway. So it's going to eventually come to 4,700 regardless. And with that in mind, maybe I should just go to 4,000 and just call it good. I wish people were here so they could tell me that's a terrible idea, or yeah, that sounds like, you know, might as well. You know, it's going to go to 4,700 quicker than that. So we might, why give her a ball that's going to be, you know, 6,500, and know that it's just going to eventually go down to 4,700, and she'd have to figure out, whoa, I don't think it's that big of a deal, but it's just me thinking in my head. So I think about the little things, right? So I think I'm just going to go to 4,000 grit. Maybe a little bit of polish to make it look shiny for her, because she wanted it shiny. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. So we're gonna clean off our pad because it's still in pretty good shape even after all of that sanding. So once I get all the stuff off it, I'll show you. It's still in really good shape. So it's in good shape. Still green, still looks pretty decent. You've got a couple of little parts missing, but nothing major. So we can still keep using this pad. We might even use it on the next ball. I haven't seen how big of the gouges are on that one, but he's been bowling with that ball for a long time and hasn't had it maintained at all. So we'll see. Whoa! Flying sanding pad here. Just trying to. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to like clean out the pad. So I don't want to put it on itself and scratch it like this because then my grid gets messed up. So I try and just use my hand and just kind of squeeze the water out like this. I can't get a good video of it while so you can see the water kind of dripping down my wrist there. So that's how I try and dry it out as good as I can, and then I just set it up here and let it dry out. So I want to restart I want to get back to the spot that I started at before. So we're going to go back to the finger holes. One mark that she did say she has got it upside down. So there's we got rid of it for the most part. You can see part of it right there. And there's the one that we can't get out really. It's just, it is what it is, and there's a bunch over here that we can't really get out, but we did get out that big nasty one. I don't know if I'm showing you enough or not. So yeah, looks good. Wait till we get it up to 4,000 and throw a little polish on this thing. It's gonna look amazing. So from here, we used 120, so we probably should use 320 next. We're not going to do it nearly as long this time, so still want a little water. So the more aggressive the grit, I'll try and keep everything kind of wet, just because that way it's not hurting. It's not going to, dry cause more friction. And wet causes less friction, so I don't want to cut into the ball too much. All right, there's one rotation. Wipe the ball off. Clean rag. Wipe the ball off. Quarter turn. Go again. Spray bottle. Oh, so what else is there? Spray, clean rag. Quarter turn. Spray. Sand. Spray, wipe. Oh, so we did detox this ball too. So we had this ball and that ball and the detox machine. Oh. Okay, so hopefully we're still back to being live. Yeah, it looks like we're fine. And we're back to the beginning. So I think I'm just going to do one rotation of that. That looks pretty decent. So I think we're just going to keep going because this is kind of eating up a lot of my time. We've been doing this for 40 minutes and we still have quite a bit of things to keep going through here to get it to where we want it to be. So wash this one off. That one's done. So then we're going to move into a 500 grit. Da, 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 da. I mean, I know I'm not going to get any replies because I don't have any followers or anything yet, but you know, what cleaner does everybody use? Do you use your brand of ball cleaner? Do you use something that a ball cleaner you use forever? Have you found something that you like consistently use? Or rags? Is there a certain rag that you like? You know, I like CTD stuff. It's kind of more on the higher end. But they make good product. I mean, I like their stuff. I think almost all of their cleaners have Tactifier, if not all of their cleaners have Tactifier in it, which keeps your ball newer longer. Well, I just got a text message from my brother about some stuff about his business, so I might need to get done with this set, so that way I know where I'm at. Be on the next grit size up. So right now we're using 500. Next one I'll use is 1,000. I just want to get to the point where I'm back to the beginning, so that way I don't forget where I'm at. I'll know that I'm where I begin, where I start. So finger holes are back facing up, so I know that that's where I started. And I know that I am at 1,000 grit now. So what I normally do is, if something like this happens, I usually just leave the ball where it's supposed to be when I start, put the next pad on top of it, that I know that's what I'm going to be doing next when I come back. So I hope everybody has a great day. Subscribe. Do you have to subscribe? Or is there like... And then there's like another group, like another thing I can add on to where it like costs money per month, which I will never do. Well, look at that, that's pretty cool. So yeah, subscribe. Everything that I put on here is always going to be free. I'm not going to have any like Patreon groups or anything like that. At least like it, if you wouldn't mind. Maybe pass out the word that I'm doing what I can to... What the heck is that? Just shadow, I guess. Pass along what I'm trying to do. You know, educate new bowlers. Educate just people, just anybody. You know, and I appreciate you for watching at least any second or however long you can watch. And comment if you think I'm doing something wrong, or maybe some ideas. You know, you can tell I'm an open book. You know, if there's something you don't like about me or what I'm doing, go ahead and say it. Let's talk. I'll listen to your points and we can talk back and forth and be adults and maybe you'll change my mind about how the way I operate something. But for right now, I get to do what I want because it's my shop. So and that's a whole part of the reason why I wanted my own pro shop and coaching, so that way I would be able to think about both sides, because both things are very important, and they both play a role back and forth as well. So so yeah, I just want to say I'm not going to give up, and I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, and hopefully I'll get some people to interact with. All right, happy Friday. I'm out for a while. I got to go figure out what's going on with my brother and some stuff. So I will talk to you guys later. Have a good Friday and a good weekend. Backpool Pro Shop. See you later.